Welcome to HumanityWins.net. Please read the important disclaimer on your screen. All of the content provided is for entertainment purposes only. It should not be taken as medical or legal advice. Please contact your doctor or lawyer if you require such advice. Thank you. The show starts right now. Hello, welcome to episode 84 from July the 20th of the year 2022. Today is a Wednesday. Today's episode is about the heat wave and water crisis going around the world. This is something that you might or not might be aware of. It depends in what part of the world you're listening from. But this is going on. I'm in the middle of a heat wave and water crisis. This has been going on for months in my case. I'm from a city in Mexico called Monterrey, Mexico. You maybe have heard of it. It's the third largest city in Mexico after Mexico City and Guadalajara. And it's considered the industrial center of Mexico. Is where most of the industry is, especially, high tech and industries from the US and Canada and Europe and that. And it's a very warm place. Northern Mexico is very warm, very hot for many years now, tens of years, thousands of years actually. It's just the conditions like that. I've been here since the 80s, not originally from here, as I shared on many episodes, but I clarify this again because we have had a nice influx of new subscribers as of late. So I want to share this story so they get to know me a little bit. As if you're a long-time subscriber, you already know my story. I was born in Italy. When I was very young, my family moved to Mexico for my father's work. So we have been here since the 80s. And yes, it has always been hot and warm. Around 40, 45 Celsius is normal here in the summer, at least 35. It's a cool summer, actually. And for the ones in the imperial scale, that's 90 to 110 Fahrenheit approximately. So that is normal. And we have had years that is there's a lot of rain, and we have years like this one that there is not much rain. But we have never had the problem with water, and we have been having this problem since early 2022. Actually, March, they started cutting 1 day per week. And then in May, they say it was going to be water available, running water only available from 4 a.m. to 10 a.m., but that has not been true. As of late, the last 2 weeks, it has been a little bit better because they have been doing a lot of extracting water from the ground, which is never a good idea. That water is going to run out. The best way is to build dams and capture water from rain. But because they claim there is no rain and no rain coming, I don't know how they know that. So they claim they have their own, advanced systems that can see the weather months ahead, and and they know in these 7 months of the year how much rain has fallen, so they can predict the last 5, stuff like that. Don't believe that. They know perfectly they are doing this on purpose. Okay, so the idea here is this heat wave and this water crisis is part of the multiple crises going on, but because we are not paying attention. For example, the one that has really cooled off for them is the war between Russia and Ukraine. I see very little to no mainstream media, and there's nothing more to talk about that. It really didn't pan out as that fear mongering they wanted to do. Everyone is scared of nuclear war and whatever. That hasn't panned out. We all know it's a fake war. We all know it's just, it's like watching a play actually, and they're trying to entertain us there with the war, with the fear. Everything is about the fear. As Joel from Waking the Future this morning said on their episode, I agree entirely. There's only one energy in the universe, okay, and that's love. And fear, there's no opposing energy to love equally, but fear and hate are actually quite up there as far as the anti-love, okay? What if you don't feel love, then feel fear and hate? That's about that. There's no matching energy, okay? Because love is the only intended energy in the universe. But going back to the subject of the heat wave and water crisis, after I explained to you that I'm in the middle of one and the water is really running low and they're apparently desperate. I think it's all a show, but they're apparently desperate of getting water from the ground, and they're kind of preparing us that in the next few months there's going to be no water at all. So before, I've seen a lot of prepping, talk a lot about food, about having a generator, about having weapons. But we kind of assume we're always going to have water, mix up the rain maybe or something. And I understand it because, believe me, before a weapon, before even food, before even a generator, if you don't have water, you don't have anything, okay? Water it's very important for this reality, to experience this reality. We need it. Without 3-4 days without water, you are going to physically die. For the new subscribers, you might want to see my earlier episodes that I speak that I don't believe in death as the mainstream explanation that we die and we go somewhere else, and that I don't believe you ever die. I don't believe life is a circle that you go around your existence. and you're always alive. You just change. That's why the name of the channel is Change is Near. Change is always near. There's only creation, never destruction in the universe. And the only thing you go is you are created and then you go forever and you change. You never die. Okay. That's what I believe. It might not match what, especially new subscribers, because I've seen some of them are believers in the flat earth theory and that. And I don't want to, if you have been following me for a while, I've been refraining from speaking about religions. I made my episode on religions and I kind of said my piece, okay, about religions. As I always said, you believe what you want. Of course, that's your right. That's your free will. And we all have to respect how we all feel about that, okay? And about everything, actually. It's not our place to judge anyone. We all can get our own truth. We all have an angle of the truth. And I think we're going to see in the future how we embrace our differences. As I've been telling you, that I had an excellent chat with Tony last week that I met on my vacation. And we don't agree on many things, but we embrace our difference. He appreciated what I shared that he doesn't believe in, and I appreciated example flat earth, the explanation he gave me. I honestly heard it and I embraced it in a way. I don't have to believe it, I don't have to follow it, but I can respect it, okay? So without further ado, we're going to watch a video on the heat wave in Europe right now and the explanations they give, and then I'm going to give you, as always, my feelings. And for the new subscribers, all the time on the show notes, I include all the links to the videos on its entirety because I take clips from the videos, all right? And as credit to the source, I include the full links to the videos that you can watch the complete videos or even some other videos from that creator. I do that respecting the Fair Use Act in the internet, that I'm taking this others people work and sharing it on this episode. And I'm giving them back credit with a link on the show notes. All right. So if you ever are interested in watching the clip again on its entirety or the work of this creator, just go to the show notes and you're always going to find the links there. All right. Images is a little bit difficult. I already shared that. Thanks for the images. Wherever I got them from the internet. Images are very difficult to include all the links to the images I use. On some episodes, I use 10, 15, 20 images. So I shared that if you are the creator of some of the images I share, that I'm not trying to profit from this at all, I can take that the episode and redo it without your image if it's really that much trouble. All right. Thanks. So let's watch the first video. It's around 3 minutes long on the current heat wave and water crisis in Europe. Let's watch it together.
Believe it or not, the UN is holding a climate summit in Europe this week as it experiences a record-setting heat wave, with temperatures reaching as high as 113 degrees Fahrenheit in parts of Spain. At the summit, the delegate from Spain pointed out the obvious connection between record temperatures and raging wildfires.
I left my country under fire, literally under fire. More than 20,000 hectares have been burned these last 3 days. More than 400 casualties are being caused by this heat wave, the second heat wave in less than a month.
It almost seems too obvious to point out, but it's worth it, because as climate continues to warm, not only will we have worsening heat waves, we will have them more often, and there is only so much heat human beings can take and function properly. And in places that are not built for this kind of heat, like much of Europe, the high temperatures are taking their toll.
The death toll because of the heat for the past week in those two countries reads like a war bulletin. 650 people died in Portugal, 60 people died in Spain, tens of thousands of people evacuated due to forest fires in France as well.
In fact, those numbers are even higher now. There are reports tonight as many as 1,100 people have died in just Portugal and Spain. It is so hot in the UK, all flights into Luton Airport have to be diverted when the tarmac actually melted. And so people across Europe are left looking for ways to stay cool.
I don't like the sun, to be honest, a lot. So just keep on drinking. And I try to find shadows also here in Paris, but you can barely find them.
The sun and this hot, it's a little harming for our body.
40 degrees, 45 degrees when I've been working abroad. You just get on with it.
Okay, so I want to clarify that 3 videos I'm going to share today on my stream, okay? So you can see that was from MSNBC, the other one was from a German channel, and the other one was from a local channel, and I'm going to share a very short 20-second video on the situation of one of the big dams we have here, because as I've shared, this area, I'm from northern Mexico, East Mexico, close to Texas in the US, has always had problems with water because of it has always been warm and with very little rain. So how you fix that? You build dams, and we have 3 major dams here, and they're all going dry. There's one that is not as dry, but it's very far away, and they claim now that they have been having problems getting the water here. It's 100 kilometers, that's 60 miles away from here. So they claim that the aqueduct or the tube they use basically to get the water here, they discuss leaks and whatever. Again, they can claim whatever they want, like they did with the COVID pandemic or scam. And I see it as exactly the same things. They problem, reaction, solution. Okay, so they create the problem, which is the heat wave and the water crisis. They sense the reaction of people that, seeking for a solution, and then they give you the solution, and you have to take, for example, here where I'm from, for the last few months, in areas there is no water, they send water trucks. Okay, is that a solution really? So people go with the real buckets and 5-gallon jugs and stuff like that to get some water at least and try to survive literally this artificial water crisis. Water is never, the amount of water that is in the earth is constant, okay? So for them to claim water has gone away, no, it has gone somewhere. They took it away. And I think the same thing they did here, I'm totally convinced they're doing in Europe and some other places. This is the first step on their climate emergency, climate crisis that is going to be very similar to the COVID scam. And what they're going to do is say, in order, we cannot go on like this, the earth cannot take it anymore, so we have to stay indoors. So it's going to be climate lockdowns, okay? And again, you might say also this is fear mongering, bad news. No, the purpose of the channel is for you to discover who you are, for you to discover that trying to fight the system inside the system, it's never going to work. That's actually what they want, for us to rebel, to be upset, to be fearful, to be hateful to each other, to divide us. If we stay strong, if we stay together, if we stay calm, and we try to sort these obstacles the best way we can, we're playing for ourselves. When you're hateful and you want to get your guns and start shooting the system or whatever, believe me, you don't stand a chance, to be honest, with all respect, with all due respect. That's not the way to fight the system. I believe in the Gandhi way, which is we peacefully, without shooting one bullet, discover who we are, discover how strong we are, how powerful we are, and then we fight the system by basically saying, no, enough with these invented artificial crises that they are not really true, they're only in our mind, and that will stop. This is like a bad dream, we have to stop it ourselves. So you might be awake or semi-awake, I might be in my process of awakening, etc. We must respect others, because the awakening process is a personal one, and they really cannot be forced to be awakened. Like someone you see sleeping, you cannot go and move them around or shout and make them, become awake. The same thing here. We need to allow everyone to discover this is all a scam. This is not possible, that we had a virus, now we have this, and then they're going to invent the war, and then they're going to invent so much stuff. They're throwing the book at us, all right? So let's watch the second video. I chose this one because I follow news from Italy because I have family there and I'm very fond of Italy. I love my two countries, Italy and Mexico, equally. And in a way, this is from the area I'm from. I'm from northern Italy. I'm very close to Milan. You have heard Milan or Turin. I'm in that area. It's called Piemonte in Italiano. So the River Po is actually very close to a place I'm from. It runs through northern Italy. Very important river for agriculture and many reasons, and it's going dry as well. Again, I'm not saying this is natural. This is probably artificial. They're deviating the water, still in the water, to make it dry, because this has not happened in 70 years apparently. So it's a very dramatic coincidence. All of this stuff going at the same time. So let's watch the video together. It's very interesting. I suggest you watch the screen if you're only listening, because the video is in English from a German channel, but there are some little mentions in Italian that they have English subtitles. So you might want to watch the screen, because very interesting what the people from Italy in Italian are saying about this crisis, how it's affecting agriculture and all that. And remember, I believe it's artificial. I believe this is all in purpose, okay? So let's watch it together.
In normal times, you wouldn't be able to see this. It's the wreck of a wartime boat that sank over 70 years ago in a river in Italy called Po. This piece of history is usually buried underwater, but these are not normal times.
Non si è mai visto una cosa del genere.
La siccità sta devastando le campagne.
Quindi un danno ambientale e un danno economico.
Italy's longest river is drying up. Fish are dying, farmers are reducing irrigation, and nearby towns are rationing water. It's the worst drought in 70 years. So why is it happening? And what can be done to stop it? You might have never heard of this river, but you're probably familiar with Lambrusco wine, Balsamico di Modena, or Prosciutto di Parma.
Questo è il territorio dove si produce il re dei formaggi, il parmigiano reggiano.
They all come from a region nourished by the Po. That's why it's called the Po Valley. This is also one of the most industrialized, densely populated, and intensively farmed parts of Europe. But the region is now lacking the same fundamental resource that made it flourish: water.
E poi è andato in crisi, in profondissima crisi.
Massimo Gargano is the general manager at AMBI, a syndicate of associations that take care of rivers and canals in Italy. A pretty tough job right now.
La crisi in questo paese è diffusa un po' ovunque.
Aquifers that hold groundwater are depleted. The southern Alps already have no snow left. Many lakes around the river have reached historic lows. And because summer is the driest season, the worst is yet to come. Everyone in the region is affected, starting with farmers, because much of Italy's production depends on irrigation.
Gli agricoltori sono ovviamente stremati.
Cristiano Fini is the president of an association that promotes farmers' rights, and a farmer himself.
Già adesso è pesante, ma soprattutto è anche preoccupante per quel che riguarda il futuro. Qualcuno ha chiuso.
Take wheat, for example.
Abbiamo sul grano produzioni che vanno da meno 20 a meno 50% rispetto alla media.
Okay, so I've seen the Po River, il fiume Po in Italia, many times, and never seen it like that. I don't see how in 1 year, in a couple of years, that can happen. Honestly, there's something going on. Of course, because the system always operates like this. The evildoers, if you are new to the channel, I've called them now for 84 episodes. The evildoers, the system, I believe, is a non-terrestrial force, okay? So I'm sorry about that. For the ones that don't believe there's outer space, I do believe there's a space, and they have come from there to do their evil here, to control us. It's not humans on humans, okay? I don't believe that. That's even possible. So what they're doing is they're throwing the book at us because they have to keep you distracted. So this process of awakening is stopped somehow because they're desperate. They're doing everything, as in the episode on chemtrails. They're trying to use the chemtrail system to disperse this energy, to beam this energy back to the universe. Now, this is the next crisis. This is my gut feeling. This is the next crisis. This heat wave, water crisis. They're trying to affect agriculture, so that's food production, and they're trying to affect your water supply. And in a couple of months, this is going to go mainstream all around the world, or at least huge parts of Europe, America, Asia, and all that. So I know in Australia, for example, they have the opposite problem. They have had floods. So that's the way they claim all the water in the world is going to Australia. Remember, they can redirect whatever they want through the chemical system, because what they do is basically they control the flow of water and air throughout the air with these dispersed nanoparticles that they control to the HAARP antennas, okay? They beam out the energy, they control, they can move wherever they want. This is all artificial. This is messing with nature. And I was responding to some comments on the recent videos this morning, and it was yesterday, sorry about that. And one of the comments was, yes, when we leave nature alone, it heals itself. Yes, of course, it heals itself. Yes, nature is beautiful. Nature, we're never going to match nature, okay? We're a product of nature. Remember that say the student is never better than the teacher, so we're never going to be better than nature, and if we leave nature alone, it's going to heal itself, actually. And so I'm a firm believer everything they're doing, this artificial control of the weather, this controlling of the water, of the rain, everything is going to bite them back eventually, and we just have to stay firm, believe me. So what I shared on many episodes is we mustn't hate the evildoer. We just need to vibrate in love, stay strong. Whatever is going to happen is going to happen. Just think about it. Do you have any way to fix it? No. Yes, of course, you can be a prepper and say, I'm going to be fine because I prepared the years of food and that. Unless you have a dam you have access to, and that can dry up as well, then I don't think you can solve the water problem, okay? And if you think you're going to dig to the ground, just think about it that's actually the worst way to get water, to be honest. And what's going to happen is as soon as you get the available water, which is only a few meters or yards from the surface, you're going to have to dig deeper and deeper and deeper and have the power. I'm talking about a pump, electrical pump, to be able to get that water, because mechanically or manually it's going to be impossible. You're able to get water from, let's say, 50 yards or 100 yards, and you have to do the hole to be able to get water so deep. So This is a problem, okay? And really, here they have claimed that, you know, they have been drilling the ground a lot, which I don't like, messing with Mother Earth. This is not the way to get water. It's like with energy, okay? Energy is available throughout the universe. You don't need to create it. Water is the same. Water is available throughout the universe. We don't need to go and poke the ground to get it from 100 meters, 100 yards underground. It's because they want to show us that they're trying their best to solve this crisis, which if they stop messing with nature, if they stop messing with Mother Earth, it will solve itself. In a few months, I'm sure years, Earth will fix itself, nature will fix itself if we just leave it alone, okay? If we just leave it alone. We have to understand, as I was talking with Tony last week, the Native Americans, his story was mostly about Native Americans, but it's the same, the Aborigines in Australia, many stories of how natives do it correctly because they know they must respect nature. Okay, they are even a little bit afraid of nature, which I don't agree with being afraid, but they are very respectful of Mother Earth, of nature, and they try to live without imbalance, okay? Imbalance with nature, that's very important. So the last video is very short, 20 seconds. It's in Spanish, no subtitles. The only thing I want you to do is concentrate on the screen. This is a dam very close from here from my city. It's almost completely dry, and at the end I'm going to show a picture 10 years ago and today, so you can see where all this water has gone. This is impossible. This happens in just a few months, okay? Even if you try. So let's watch the very short video together. It's very impressive how the dam is dry, and they're throwing pumps on the small spots of water left. They're trying to really to get all the possible water. It's very dramatic. All these pumps, these tubes, these flexible tubes, actually, these plastic tubes that they throw there, they look flexible because they're trying, and they're saying that using pumps that actually float on water, trying to get all the possible water out. But the dams are dry. They took the water somewhere else, and they're doing the same all over the world. And the claim is climate change, this heat wave, climate change that we have basically, again, they're going to blame us humans. Oh, you know, you destroyed the world, so now you need to stay home because we need to allow nature to repair itself. Whatever they're going to claim, it's not the way to go, okay? If we just stop messing with Mother Earth, with nature, it's going to heal itself, believe me, in a year, okay? Even less. But they keep doing through chemtrails, through all the EMF, electromagnetic frequencies, they pump out to the world. That's all what's harming nature. And nature, like us humans, we're very resilient. Nature is very resilient. And we are really driving along, pushing along, trying to get to the finish line on this, throwing the book at us by the evildoers. So let's watch the video together and I'll give you my final thoughts.
Es como la presa Cerro Prieto espera con ansias la llegada de un fenómeno meteorológico que pueda recargarla para volver a cumplir con su función y abastecer de agua al área metropolitana. Con imágenes de Pedro Flores y Diego Dávila, Víctor González Garza.
Okay, that last scene, that was full of water a few years ago. Last year, that was full of water. So what I'm showing the screen is right now the Cerro Prieto Dam. It's very close to my city. And as you can see, that the picture on your left, that was around 10 years ago, completely full. I'm sorry, I cannot show it more than that, but that's where they open the compartment doors that they let, when it's very full, they let some of the water out. And as you can see on the right, that's this year. That's almost completely dry. Just some water spots here and there. Right now, the capacity of this dam is 300 million cubic meters, okay, of water. So right now, the capacity is 1 million cubic meters of water. So it's 1/300th of the capacity, or 0.3% of the complete capacity of this dam. And through the years, it was at 60%, 80%, 90%, 40%, whatever. I don't understand how in months we have gone to 0.3%. So it's basically dry. And that, I think, is going to be replicated throughout the world, that they're going to claim water is gone. And you know what? I'm sorry, there's no water, you die. We have to stay strong, okay? This is not fear-mongering, please, because it's very important you understand that death doesn't exist. It's very important you understand who you are. It's very important you discover we have the power to stop this any day we want. But we have to be together as a humanity, and we have to come together as a humanity and just say no. Just say no. I don't know if you follow David Icke. Again, to the new subscribers, I know you like him, if you think he's a shield. But if David Icke, in my humble opinion, he's right about something, is we have the solution in our hands, and the solution is just say no. Just say no more. But that means everything, okay? That means governments, that means the medical system, that means the financial system, the money system. because the evildoers brought the money system on humanity. Just think about it. Do natives that there have been kind of insulated from all this use the money system? Not really. And I'm not talking, you know, on an Indian casino in the US. No, please. I'm talking like going to, you know, desert Australia, and do natives there, the Aborigines as they're called, do they actually have coins and bills and that? No, they don't. Okay. They just learn to live in nature. They learn to live in abundance, because nature is abundant. Okay. If you understand, it's not everything about us. It's about us living in balance with other species and nature as a whole, and respecting that. Okay. It's not everything about humans. We're not the king of the hills and king of the hill. Sorry. And when we understand that, that's the new future. Okay. The new future is going to be living in balance with everything and everyone. All right. So finally, I'm going to include this slide on every show now. We want you on the show. Send me an email to changeisnear@protonmail.com to schedule an interview. Help me out by making this show more interesting, fun, and knowledgeable by having an appearance, and all of us learning from you. Thanks in advance. Yes, we want you on the show. I think everyone will benefit, the subscribers and me and you. Everyone will benefit from hearing you out, as long as we can have a cordial, positive discussion. I don't care about the subject. Let's make it interesting. And you will help me out, okay? This is not about me at all. Really, I'm the least important thing here. This is about the message. This is about just sharing something. This is about discovering yourself. So if you allow me, if you please allow me to ask you for something, to suggest you something, please stay for the last 2 minutes of the show, especially if you're one of the new subscribers. This is what I share to you, the reason I made the channel, that this is all about you and you discovering yourself. Thanks. If everything is okay, I shall see you back on Friday. Thank you. Thank you for making it to this part of the video. This is my favorite part. This is where I suggest to you that you discover yourself. You are not what you have been groomed to believe. You are this incredible being without limits that has eternal life, amazing strength, infinite wisdom, and a big, beautiful heart. All your limits are always self-imposed. Your best version in this reality is inside you. Your only mission on this life is to become a beacon of love and guidance. This version is ready to be discovered today. How do you discover yourself? The discovery process is a personal one. No one can do it for you. Dedicate 5 minutes a day to talk to yourself and the universe. Request to be connected and ask, who am I? Where do I come from? You will start getting signs, breadcrumbs, and signals. You will notice how your notions about those realities start disappearing. No more hierarchies, no more competition, no more complaining, no more depending on others. Discovering yourself equals to breaking your matrix. Your self-imposed limits will fall, and you will be ready to serve humanity and help break this spell and deception on us. But you must be patient to allow others to wake up at their time through their own free will. That will be really soon, you will see, and that will start the new world. As you work towards your best version, you will notice how all emotions don't serve you anymore. Hate, fear, rage, pride, loss, envy, violence, justice, true violence, judgment of others, and other emotions will disappear from your mind and heart. You will understand those emotions serve only the evildoers and are not you. Please try to be understanding of others that don't think or feel like you. Everyone has a process. No one is right or wrong. We're all just different. Don't be concerned about being right, ever. Don't allow pride preventing you from patching things up with family and friends. It is very important you enjoy this life with your loved ones. Put in the work to patch things up and leave it to others to decide. Please relax and enjoy life. When everyone breaks their own matrix, humanity through our community consciousness will break the final spell. The new world will start and everything will gradually fall. Governments, hierarchies, and the medical and financial system will go from scarcity to abundance for all. Thank you very much for watching. Please share this episode. If you have any comments or suggestions, please use the comment section below. For private questions, conversations, and if you would like to appear on the show, please email me at hey@humanitywins.net. Please be sure to check out our friends from Waking the Future and their awaken-attire.com shop. They gave me my first opportunity to speak about this and I will be forever grateful. Link to their channel and shop on the show notes. Thank you again. Please don't forget to visit our website www.humanitywins.net. By giving me your time, you honor me. Have a very, very, very nice day.